What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB here with the review for Claws. This is season 3. This is episode 4, and the episode was titled "Bye Bye." Tell him bye bye, bye bye. Tell him bye bye. Middle fingers up, put it in his face. That is my shit. But the episode is titled "Boy Bye." So without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and just jump into tonight's episode review. All right, you guys. So this episode, it opens up. It's the morning after she got stood up. Well, so she thinks she got stood up by Roller. So, she in the mirror putting on her lipstick, being the bad bitch that she is. And, she's heading to the shop. And we got a guy there. He is in the chair, he's in the chair getting a manicure and a pedicure from Jen and Ann. And, he talking about how he went to the dentist's office. And he woke up and he felt like his booty hole was open. I'm like, how the fuck do you go to the dentist's office and feel like your booty hole is open? You must have went to a hood doctor that ain't really got no license. Your booty hole felt like it was open? Your booty hole felt like it was open. Okie dokie, if you say so. So then, Desna walks into the shop. She's telling Jen how good she looked. And, Jen and Anna like, girl, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. They're like, nah, girl, you mad, like, what the fuck happened? She's like, why? She's like, no, I'm not mad. They're like, yes, the fuck you are, because you want to do this kind of shit when you mad. So then, she tell them like, hey, Roller ghosted me, and they were, the dude in the chair was like, girl, I know you're not sitting with his ass. Well, yep, she's still fucking with Roller. And, she's like, I can't believe I actually thought that he changed. And then she says, we're done. I'm like, yeah, until he put the dick on you, he ain't done. Because once Roller put the dick in your life, put that dick on her, it's going to be OVO. OV, 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 OVR, over. So then after this, we see Melbo crazy ass. That bitch, like, I would throat check that hoe for real. Like, I swear to God, if I was Desna, I'd just karate chop that bitch right in the throat. Like, can you breathe, ho? Can you breathe? Can you breathe? Or I would set her oxygen tank on fire. I'd be like, I'd be smoking a cigarette. Boom, and blow that bitch oxygen tank up. Or I just, have a match. Watch that bitch burn and, girl, did I just burn up your, oop, girl, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to blow you up. Like, I would throat check that hoe and I would blow up her oxygen tank with her attached to it. With her attached to the motherfucker. But, like I said, we see Mel, but she's beating the shit out of Roller. I'm like, God damn. I don't advocate for men hitting women, but if Roller could untie them knots, I wish Roller would wear her ass the fuck out. Like, if you don't go suck on some oxygen, some helium, some, carbon dioxide, whatever you got to suck on, go suck on it, Melba. Quick, fast, and in a motherfucking hurry. Like, ugh. I just hate Melba. All right, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include the scenes with not Desna, but Virginia and Dean together. So we first see Virginia. Virginia's getting ready to head to work. But she calls Dean and she's like, Dean, where are you at? Like, we were supposed to be meeting up at, I think she said Waffle House or something like that. And unfortunately, Dean is at the casino. I'm like, oh, you got to be shitting me. Like, I get it. I get Dean's perspective that, if Mac and Melba are so bad, why is Desna around them? So I get that perspective, but actually, there's no but. I get his perspective. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I get his perspective. If they're so bad, if you don't want me to hang around them, but he's so bad, why are you around them if they're that bad? So I definitely get it's a contradiction, basically. I definitely get it. But I think the thing is, Desna, I don't want to play on his disability. That's what I'm trying not to do, is play on his disability. But I guess I have to play on his disability because he's innocent in a sense. And I think a person like Mac sees that and they will take full advantage of it. And that's what Desna does not want to happen. But Dean is on the whole power thing, on the whole thing of you telling me one thing, but you're contradicting yourself by doing something else. So I get both sides of the spectrum. So I definitely do get both sides of it. So then, as Virginia is getting ready to head to work, she runs into EJ. So EJ said, if you keep smiling at me like that, I'm going to have to take your pretty ass out for coffee. I'm like, oh shit. Trouble in paradise. Like, it's coming sooner than we think. So then, she was like, well, I got to get to work. He was like, okay, cool. Like, how about we meet up later? So then he takes her phone and he puts his number in her phone. And I'm like, oh shit. This is going to spell out trouble for Dean and Virginia. So then we see Dean. He's at the casino. He's playing mahjong with, Mac. And Mac is, asking about his child, his parents. Did his father do this and this and that with them? He said, yeah, my parents weren't in my life. He said, oh, he's trying to, build a relationship or, foundation or something, or some kind of similarity with Dean, talking about what his upbringing was. And I'm like, Mac, first of all, don't nobody give a fuck about your upbringing. So then he asked him, like, in school, did the kids, pick on him? He was like, well, the kids didn't necessarily understand who he was, his quirks and everything. And then, again, Mac is trying to build some commonality between them. And, he tells him that, how he was treated in school, being the only Native American. So then he tells him, he wants to open up a school so, that nobody feels out of place. And I guess more specifically Native Americans, I guess. So then, Mac tells Dean that there's a mahjong tournament and that he should enter into. And then, Dean is like, well, I don't know if Desna would be okay with that. And I'm like, he is going to play Dean. I think what he's going, he going to play Dean. And I feel like somehow he's going to try to play Dean against Desna. Like, I just see that coming some way, somehow. So then we see Dean, so he's playing the game of mahjong with some women. And he's actually winning the game. So then his phone starts to ring. And his phone rings, is Virginia giving him a call. But instead of answering the call from Virginia, he completely ignores it and goes back to his game. And I'm like, wow. Mahjong is that important to Dean? Like, you forgetting about your fiance over here, but you playing a game of mahjong. But okay. So, like I said, he was playing a game of mahjong, and we still see it. So then it comes back another scene, and he's still playing with he's playing with a different group of ladies at this time. And Desna comes up to him, and she tells him, like, she's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm playing mahjong. And, he tells her that Mac wants to train him for the tournament. And she's like, fuck, Dean, I told you about him. Mac and Melba are not to be trusted. But then again, like I said, Dean is really feeling like, if that's the case, why are you in bed with them, so to speak? Basically it's a contradiction. But she's again trying to tell him to stay away from them. And then he asks her how was her date with Roller. She's like, you know what, Dean, finish up your fucking game and go the hell home. Like, I just don't get how Dean doesn't see it. Like, you see that they're giving your sister some hell, but you want to be cool with him. Like, I just really don't understand where I don't understand where we're going with this. Like, I mean, I know what is. I kind of feel what's going to happen is that he's going to get in so good with Mac that Mac is going to try to play him against Desna. I definitely do see that happening, but I don't get why Dean doesn't see it. Everybody so far that Desna has worked with or been involved with has been dangerous. Slaughter, Ruval, Roller, Uncle Daddy, like all of them are dangerous. But I just don't understand it. Really don't understand it. Really confused. Thoroughly confused. So then we see Dean, he goes to Mac about the tournament. And here we go. This is the beginning of Mac trying to turn Dean against Desna. Because he tells him that, because, Dean is just like, his sister's not going to like that. And he says, well, let this be our little secret. I'm like, the fuck? No. So then we see Virginia. She shows back up. And she goes over there where Dean is at his mahjong table. And she's like, I haven't talked to you all day. Like, what's up? And he gets loud with Virginia. I'm like, whoa, this is a different side of Dean, like a completely different side of Dean. And she's like, you're more concerned, and I'm like, wow, Dean is more concerned about this fucking game of mahjong than he is his fiance. Like, there goes the cracks in the relationship between Virginia and Dean. And then we did see it. Virginia met up with EJ, who dedicated us a country song to her. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. This is going to be the beginning of the end of not Virginia and Dean. Mark my words. All right, next you guys, we got Polly and we got Joe. So we see them two working, and then they start to get a little hot and heavy with each other. I'm like, oh, Polly, what's going on here? But then they eventually like, you know what? We got to pump the brakes because, Joe's like, Mac and Melba wouldn't want me Friday night doing this with you. And she's like, you know what? Desna wouldn't want me doing this with you. But then Polly's fucking phone rings and it's gunshots. She's like, oh, yeah, I really like the sounds of gunshots. I'm like, what? So then they start back getting hot and heavy with each other. I'm like, ooh. So then we see these two fools. They go to this store and they talking about another store that had been robbed of yoga pants by some spring breakers. And the guy was like, he really didn't care. And then like, he was like, he was talking about his security system. And, they were like, if you pay us, I think she said $5,000 a month or something like that, that we can protect you. And then this fool takes out a gun and takes it and turns it toward one of the mannequins and blows the bitch's head off. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, and then, we see them two, they starting to get hot and heavy again. I'm like, so gunshot is going to be y'all idea of foreplay? Okay, if you say so. If you say so. So then they go back to the office, and Joe and Polly getting hot and heavy again. But then she gets Polly gets a call with the boom 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 the gunshots, and it's Desna. So Desna's telling her, hey, Mac and Melba got Roller. She's like, what? She's like, yeah, they got him. And she Desna tells her to stay on Joe. I'm like, well, shit, she's already on him right now, so you ain't got to worry about that. Like, you ain't got to worry about that. So then, when Polly hangs up the phone with Desna, she looks at Joe. She's like, so did Mac and Melba have you on me all day to get me, keep me away from the group? He was like, no. He's like, how do I know Desna didn't have you on me for the same reason? And I'm like, but Roller has been kidnapped, so well, technically she's telling her to be on you now, but he was like, no, he was with Polly because he wanted to be. She's like, okay, prove it to me. Call them and figure out where Roller is. So he calls them. And let's see, where do we want to go? Okay, we're gonna talk about Dr. Ken because Dr. Ken was at the clinic. He was at the clinic, and he's showing the nurse there that he has a date, and she was looking at the woman. She's like, Ken, I don't think this is gonna work out. He was like, why? She said, because she looks like Polly. So then we see Uncle Daddy and Toby show up, and they try to get some pills for some pain pills for some nerve pills, I guess, for Uncle Daddy. So then we see Dr. Ken. He's on this date, and he's at the casino, and he's not really interested in his date. And then was she talking about that she has psoriasis or whatever? And I'm like, wow, that is interesting conversation for a first date. We're talking about your plaque psoriasis. Plaque psoriasis. I mean, I know people have it, but really? That's what you talk about on the first date? Plaque psoriasis? Plaque psoriasis. That's worse than fucking Scott on Love After Lockup. Talking about his first date with Lizzie. He's talking about on his first date with that other woman, talking about Lizzie and the money that he spent on her ass. And when that woman told him he needs to get help. She was right. Scott needs help. Scott needs some fucking help. Oh yeah, I do watch Love After Lockup. It is hilarious. That shit is stupid. That shit is so fucking stupid. That show is retarded as fuck. I enjoy it though, thoroughly. But that's neither here nor there. I will be reviewing it when it comes back in August with a new batch of inmates and lovers. Like, oh God, how did I miss that stupid ass show? But back to Claus. So again, like I said, Polly, he was just uninterested in this woman until Polly comes out. When Polly comes out, that's when he wants to start laughing, and she's like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?" He was like, he mentioned her plaque psoriasis. I'm like, but that's not funny. Like, oh my God. So I guess the whole premise of this date was to make Polly jealous. So, you know, and then like I said, Kenna's just over there laughing, and the woman's like, I didn't say anything. It's not you. It's not you. It's his ex-girlfriend that's sitting right behind you that he's trying to get her attention, which is actually working because when Ken gets up to go to the bathroom, Polly follows him behind him. And, you know, she was like, why would you bring someone into my job? He's like, well, I actually didn't know you were going to be here. And, you know, he was like, jealous? She's like, not really. She's like, I don't want to be with you, Ken. I don't want to be with you. Like, do you not get that? She's like, I don't want to be with you, but I don't want you to move on and be happy so fast. And then the man in the stall, he was like, what did he say to them? He said, are y'all done or something? Because my ass is starting to hurt. I'm like, nigga, how long have you been sitting on that toilet? Like, are you jacking off? Like, for your ass to be hurting? Like, you've been sitting there for a minute. And I can't imagine that you shitting. I mean, you could be shitting, but if you sit there that long that your ass is starting to hurt, you've been on that toilet for too fucking long. Actually, that's happened to me before. TMI, but I fell asleep on the toilet at work. And I wasn't even using the bathroom. I just went to the bathroom to escape the customers. At my last job, I just went there to escape the customers and ended up falling asleep on the toilet. That was so funny. I fell asleep on the toilet, and I had to come back there. They knocked on the door. I'm like, oh, I'm coming out in a few minutes. My black ass had been back there for about 15 minutes, knocked out on that fucking toilet. It was peaceful. So peaceful. Oh, that's what it was. I fell asleep on the toilet and I had the music playing so nobody could hear me. Smart, right? It's very smart. So where are we at? All right. So, I'm trying to figure out where I want to go next. All right, so give me a minute. I'm gonna try to figure out how. All right, so now I know where I'm at. So we see everybody. We see Ann, Toby, Uncle Daddy, Bryce, Jen, Polly. I guess they were at the clinic, and they tell on Uncle Daddy, like, you know, we still know their role is missing, but now Desna is missing as well. So, you know, then Dr. Ken come and talk about, you know, well, actually, Polly wasn't there. Everyone was there with the exception of Polly. So Dr. Ken come and talk about, you know, Polly's dating Joe. And they were like, she's not dating, you know, Jen and Ann said she is not dating him. Desna wanted her to stay on him to get information about Roller. So then we see Uncle Daddy. He goes to Joe's office. He's trying to get information from Joe. And Polly's like, chill, I got this. Polly's like, you gonna tell me what, you gonna find out where the fuck Roller is and you gonna help me find him. She's like, you know, you don't want to see bad Polly. Like, you see this one side of Polly, but there's also another side of Polly, and you don't want to see that fucking side. So tell me what the fuck it is that you know. And I'm like, oh, Polly, you better get it. Like, go ahead and get it. So then later in the episode, we see Polly. She goes back to Joe. So Joe actually helped her find, you know, Desna and Roller. And she asked him, like, how did you know where they were? And he was like, he said, you know, that's where his parents dumped him at. She was like, not funny. He's like, no, that's actually where, you know, Mac and Melba found me. So then they get hot and heavy with one another. And I'm like, oh, okay. Go ahead and get it, Polly. Get the dick. Okay, so one part of the episode we had Uncle Daddy at the clinic. And you know how he's trying to go legit and try to, you know, counsel these people, these drug addicts. Well, he's trying to counsel Brenda, but he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Because you notice that he starts reading from the posters around the wall. And even Brenda figures that out. She's like, motherfucker, you are reading from that fucking poster. You are not counseling me. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, the fuck? So then, Bryce shows up and tell Brenda, like, Brenda, you got to get the fuck up out of here. She was like, why? She's like, you and Jen just need to get over it. And I was with Bryce, like, how do you expect her to get over the fact that your mouth was permanently, well, not permanently, but your mouth was attached to her husband's dick? Like, you want somebody to get over that? Bitch, please. You were sucking your son-in-law's dick. And you want them to get over that. You want them to get over that. Okay. Like, really? Let go of the fact that your mouth was on her husband's dick. If you say so, lady. Get over the fact that your mouth was on her husband's dick. Cool. So then we see Brenda after she left. She showed back up to where Jen was. She went over there by the nail shop. And, she tells Jen that she wants to be a family. And then she mentions Bryce. She's like, wait a minute. So what the fuck is up with Bryce? She's like, Jen was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck right now. Like, Desna's in trouble and I got to help her. And I'm like, again, you want her to forgive you and get over the fact that your mouth was on her husband's dick. Right, lady. So then we see Bryce. He's back at he's at the rehab place where where he and Uncle Daddy trying to do, and he's doing this weird love circle thing with these people. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So then Jen shows up and like, so you saw my mama? Like, what the fuck? Like, I thought we were done with her. He said we are. He's like, I wanted her to go, but she, and I told her she had to leave, and it's me and you. But then, she was like, cool. And then the circle just surrounded them. He was trying to kiss her. She was like, no. Like, what? I would have been like, girl, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Is that an airplane? Okay. All right, now you guys, for the meat and potatoes of the episode. So we see Melba's old crazy ass when Desna's in the office. She comes up on the security screens where she's holding Rolla hostage. So she's telling Desna to come along to save her boyfriend. So then we see Desna. She's talking to Uncle Daddy, and Uncle Daddy ass is ready to go bust the cap in somebody's ass to get his baby boy back. And she was like, Clay, she told me to come by myself. Well, Uncle Daddy don't want to listen. Uncle Daddy nor Bryce wants to listen. That's his brother and that's his baby boy, so they gonna go save him. So then they go to that TP house where they were, beating the shit out that black accountant lady a few episodes ago. So when they get in there, there's a speaker on the ground, and you can hear some screaming and moaning, which I thought was Roller, but it wasn't Roller. It was the speakers. So then it's a phone in there and it's ringing, and Desna answers the phone. She's like, Melba was like, you were supposed to come along, but you brought your crew with you. She's like, how the fuck? And then they look up in one of the animals' mouths, and there's the camera. I think it was like was that a squirrel or a deer? It was whatever it was. It was a camera in its mouth. So she was like, so yeah, you didn't follow our instructions. So, and then you hear them. It's we see Mac with one of those big. What is it? That's not a butcher's. I can't even think what you call that knife. I'm drawing a blank right now. It wasn't a machete. A machete is actually a sword. It's one of those meat. Is it a meat cleaver? Ain't that what they call? Correct me if I'm wrong. But we hear him. We see him with it by Roller, and we hear her screaming, which we know is Roller. So then we see Desna. Desna is really worried about him, but the girls are trying to calm her down. And Jenna's like, we got Uncle Daddy and Bryce on the case. She's like, yeah, look how much good that did. Like, those two motherfuckers want to go in there with the guns blazing, and now we're in this fucking position. And Virginia's like, what does Mac and Melba want? And they're like, Virginia, the fucking casino. Like, are you serious? They want the fucking casino. So then, Anna's like, well, I can talk to Arlene off the books. Desmond's like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Do not mention anything to fucking Arlene. Leave Arlene the fuck out of this, Anne. So then, one of the UPS or FedEx guy comes in there with a package for Desna. So Desna opens the package and she's like, it's a tow. And then it's a note attached with it, and it's telling her where she needs to come. So then we see Desna, she's heading to meet, Mac and Melba to get Roller back. So in the back seat, we got the good Desna versus the bad Desna. The bad Desna sound like, bitch, let them kill that motherfucker. Like, can't no good, like, bitch, he probably already dead. Why are you gonna go get yourself killed? But the other one is like, well, girl, that dick is good, and that's our dick. Like, girl, go get the dick. Get it. Go get the dick. So then, crazy ass Melba calls her, and she tells her where to come to, and then she says, also toss your phone out the window. So she tosses her phone out the window. So then, she gets to where they are, M and M are, and we see Looney we see that the place is lined up with candles that are lit, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what the hell is going on right here? Like, it's just lit with candles. Then we see her, Melba, dancing. I'm like, this bitch is really fucking crazy. Like, something wrong with this bitch. Something is wrong with this hoe. So then she tells Desna to come dance with her, and Desna was gonna move, and she had a taser in her hand, and she moved to turn it on. I'm like, Desna, do whatever that crazy bitch says. So she goes and dances with her, and she put her hands on her hips, and she started dancing. I'm like, is this bitch? What is up with this crazy hoe? It is something seriously wrong with this crazy hoe. You know what? I think she might be bi, because she was flirting with she does like Quiet Ann. So Desna's just apologetic about the whole shit with the governor. So then Matt comes in with Roller, and Melba tells her that they're using the money from the governor to build schools for Native Americans. So now Roller's life is like hanging in the balance. So they tell her to sign over her her part of the casino to them. So she kind of hesitated at first, but then she does turn it over to them. And then Cuckoo Melba, I'm like, oh shit. So then Desna and Roller, they wake up tied to a bed. Roller asks her, like, what the fuck took you so long to sign them fucking papers? She said, but she gave an excuse why it took her so long. And then she asked him, like, wait a minute, how the fuck did you even get caught up? He said, I was trying to help this lady. She's like, it's always the coochie with you, Roller. Always the fucking coochie. And I'm like, but he was actually been a good Samaritan for once. Like, it wasn't he was trying to fuck the bitch. He was just actually trying to help the bitch. So then a snake slithers in, and there's like, oh shit, it's a snake. And I'm like, oh shit, it's a snake. I'm like, is that snake poisonous? And then the snake, now that thing kind of creeped me out a lot when that snake just slithered on their bed and it got by Roller's leg and it bit the shit out of him. I said, oh goddamn. I knew it was coming, but I'm like, you would have to kill me. Cause a snake bite, and it was a venomous snake at that. Ooh. Lord. So, eventually they do free themselves. Hold on, you guys. All right, so eventually Desna and Roller did free themselves, but unfortunately Roller can't feel his fucking legs because the snake bite was venomous. And then, they go out to find the car, but the car has been stolen by Mac and Melba. So now they gotta walk to try to, get to this, the freeway, interstate, whichever one they get into. So, as they walk and they arguing, and we finally kind of realize Roller was jealous of Ruval, the way Desna swooned over him, but he was a piece of shit at that. So, as they walk and, Roller, he passes out from his snake bite. But then he eventually does wake up and he tells Desna that he can't feel his leg and that she needs to go get help. So then we see the others. They found, Desna was walking and the sun had come up. So, they find Desna and, that she tells them that they need to go get Roller. So, then when they do go get Roller, we see them back at Desna's place, him, her, and Uncle Daddy, and a doctor. He's going to be fine. They just got to change his bandages every 2 hours or something like that. I forgot what they said. But now Uncle Daddy's ready to go after Psycho number 1 and Psycho number 2, which is Mac and Melba. And, eventually at the end of the episode, Roller and Desna confirm that they love each other. I'm like, isn't that sweet? Like, I thought that was cute. So I think, no. Then we got one last thing. So, Mac and Melba, they were back at the casino. And I'm like, I know good damn well you're not reading my favorite First Lady's book. And she was, becoming Michelle Obama. Being Michelle Obama. I forget the name of the book, y'all. Don't judge me. So, Joe comes in. He basically asks those two that they need to clean up. They were like, nah. When it comes to those two, we left them there. They're gonna become one with the earth, and if anybody finds them, it'll just look like it, a sex capades that's gone wrong. But how would it be sex capades gone wrong if they have their clothes on? Wouldn't you want them to at least be in their underwear? But it is what it is. Mac and Melba are stupid as fuck, anyways. But you guys. That was Claus. Like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later.